Hi everyone, Gary here with your Blue Nose Bulletin for Friday, the 31st of May 2024. On today's bulletin, we've got all the inside track on James Bisgrove leaving as Chief Executive, all the news regarding Nacho Novo fighting in the Hydro, all the latest transfer news, and an update on the removal of plastic pitches in the Scottish Premiership. But first, all the big news regarding James Bisgrove. And Rangers last night announced a statement at 5 p.m. Stating that current Chief Executive Officer James Bisgrove will be leaving the club to go to a new football role based in the Middle East, believed to be Saudi Arabia. The Rangers board has implemented an interim executive structure, and together with Chairman John Bennett, Manager Philippe Clement, Niels Coppin, who's our head of football recruitment and the football board, will prioritise the execution of the summer transfer activity. John Bennett will assume the role of executive chairman on an interim basis to ensure continuity and support to the wider executive team as they focus on executing their plans for the summer, both on and off the pitch. Now, Bennett will lead a team comprising of the current executive board, which is James Taylor, the Chief Finance Officer, Niels Coppin, the Director of Football Operations, Craig Robertson, and our Chief Commercial Officer, Karim Virani. John Bennett stated in his statement yesterday that he would like to thank James for all the work he has done at the club over the last 5 years as firstly our commercial and marketing director and latterly as our CEO. Our commercial revenues grew significantly under James's leadership, while in the last year he was an integral part of off-field restructuring. The executive team has helped establish itself, and he fully expects the momentum to be uninterrupted and finalised. That we wish James success in his new role. Now, this story was broken by Chris Jack, and there's further details in this morning's Rangers review piece that stated that this job has still got a few bits to go before it is finalised, but Rangers are looking for a six-figure compensation package to allow James Bisgrove to head off to Saudi Arabia, and we're expecting that agreement to be reached within the matter of weeks. One of the main things that Bisgrove will be working towards will be looking at a new stadium being built in time for the World Cup in 2034, and obviously with the finances that's going around in Saudi Arabian football at the moment, well in excess of obviously what he can do and what he's got to play with regards at Ibrox. Obviously, there's a lot to go this summer, and there'll certainly be plenty more with regards to this story, and we'll keep you fully updated here on the Fourth Officials platforms. Now, also today, it was announced by the Scottish Premiership that artificial pitches are going to be banned from the Scottish Premiership. The SPFL today announced that all top-flight clubs have voted in favour of phasing out the use of plastic surfaces. 9 out of the 12 clubs were on board with the move in order for that to pass, and clubs will now have a 2-year grace period to allow them to plan for the future without plastic and revert back to a grass surface. Now, at the moment, Kilmarnock are the only Premiership side with a plastic pitch, although Kilmarnock had already announced their intentions to dig up the current plastic pitch and replace it with grass for the 25-26 season. Now, that's aligned with a new training centre being built in Kilmarnock, so that needs to be complete in time, obviously, for Kilmarnock to be in line with this new proposal. Now, for me, that's got to be a positive thing. Plastic pitches certainly are nowhere near grass in terms of the quality of football that we can get for our product. Now, the challenge is to try and challenge teams like Dundee to have a proper grass surface on there as well. So a lot of work to be done, but positive news, I think, for me, that we're going to be seeing a Premiership without plastic in not too distant future. So just one more year of that to go down at Kilmarnock. All the latest transfer news now on our show on Wednesday. We spoke to you about the Chilean defender Thomas Galdames, currently playing in Argentina with Godoy Cruz. Now, he played on Wednesday evening, what is perceived to be his final appearance for Godoy Cruz in a 4-0 win, of which he had 2 assists playing from a left-back position. Now, the stories regarding Galdames are building a little bit of momentum, but he now moves on for some international duty, where he is currently in the Chile squad for a friendly against Paraguay, which we played next week, before the Copa America tournament, where we mentioned on Wednesday that he is in the provisional 55-man squad. So, yeah, we'll watch that one with interest. Certainly some of the videos doing the rounds of those 2 assists from Wednesday night seem to suggest that Galdames seems to be a player with a little bit about him. But, yeah, we'll certainly watch and see what happens on that front. Another young South American player that seems to be doing the rounds is a 20-year-old Uruguayan, currently playing with Penarol in Uruguay by the name of Damian Garcia. Now, Garcia is a defensive midfielder, very much a number 6, and journalists in South America very much linking Garcia with a move. Rangers very much credited with an interest in him, but no formal approach has been made as of yet. Now, Penarol appear to be quite keen to keep him until December, when his contract expires. However, they may be open to a transfer, especially if there's a loan back option until the end of the Uruguayan season. Now, he's certainly a player that appears to be pretty highly rated for that kind of defensive role. Now, obviously, we're expecting John Lundstrom to move on. No confirmation from Rangers yet, as opposed to the out-of-contract players moving on. But certainly there is the expectation that John Lundstrom will be moving on from Rangers this summer. So we will be in that market for a defensive-style midfield player, and maybe Garcia might be one of the ones to keep an eye on with that. Now, we mentioned at the top of the show, Rangers legend Nacho Novo was announced today as going to be taking place a boxing event later on this year to be held at the Ovo Hydro on Saturday, the 10th of August. He will be taking on the social media influencer Kaz Milligan at an event, and it was announced this morning, and you can get your tickets now on Ticketmaster if you are interested in a little bit of boxing. Now, Nacho, in the promotion for the fight today, mentioned that 20 years ago he used to score goals for Rangers, and now 20 years on, he's fighting his biggest fan. Now, Nacho has been subject to some health scares of late, the last kind of couple of years, and he cites that in his comments today, stating that after what I've passed through, lots of problems in my life, health problems, whatever happens in life, you have to push yourself through to do whatever you want to do. He is excited for the event, and he hopes that everyone will come and support him and enjoy the event. Now, Milligan mentions that Nacho was his football idol, and he once had a Novo 10 shirt on the back of his shirt. And I just wonder whether or not that being played on the 10th of August is anything to do with Nacho's old squad number. Now, there's going to be more fights to be mentioned on the card yet to be announced, but Kaz Milligan has vowed an insane card with his fight with Novo to be the main event, and you can get tickets from £47.10 right up to ringside seats at £228.70. So, yep, if you're interested, go and take a look at that one. Couple of final bits before we sign off for today. Now, Philip Hollander looks as if he is back on the market just 1 year after leaving Rangers and joining OB Odense in Denmark, but he is now out of contract again, having left Odense, and we'll watch with interest to see where Hollander ends back up, and wish him good luck. And today, Rangers announced a new arrival into their women's team, signing Leah Eddy from Hibernian. Now, Leah is a defender, of trade central defender, and was a very kind of pivotal part of Hibs' successful season last year, where they finished in the top 6, and certainly it's not the first time that young Leah has been at Ibrox. Now, she was with Rangers before and made her Scotland debut back in 2021, and hopes that a move back to Rangers will help her establish herself back into the international level. Now, she's had some injury problems in the past as Leah, got an ACL injury in her first game for Hibs, but has kind of moved on and been very, very successful there, to the point where she won one of their Player of the Year awards for last season. Now, she is currently the captain of the Scotland under-23 squad, and certainly having lost Lisa Martinez, who moved on from the women's team at the end of the season, gives us a little bit more competition in defensive areas. Now, anyone that's listened to my shows with Rhiannon this year will know that obviously Tess Medag has played a lot of games this season for Rangers at centre-back, and maybe with an extra defender having arrived, might free Tess to move back into her preferred midfield position. That will do us for this episode of the Blue Nose Bulletin. Big thank you to you all for watching and interacting and subscribing here on our YouTube channel. Tell your friends. We'd love to see them here on the channel. Enjoy your weekend. I'll speak to you on Monday. Goodbye.